Hey YouTube, and welcome back to another video. Just so you know, there's going to be some slight spoilers for the end of Salt Mine Stage 1 for the EU portion, in case you were wondering, and you haven't finished watching that. But the reason why we're watching today's video is we were watching two replays of Nush versus Mawkzy. Now, Mawkzy is Be Careful 12 in this replay, and most of his 1v1 games, or at least a ton of his 1v1 games, are streamed live, so I think these were streamed live as well. But talking about how Mawkzy has the target on his back. Nobody grinds more ranked than Mawkzy, and specifically now that he is champion, a lot of people want to beat him. If you see him on his live stream, he's talking about how everybody is going full try-hard sweat, and maybe that'll be shown today by these matches against Nush. But we're going to see how the ranked world now goes for somebody who is wearing the crown. Heavy is the head that wears the crown, and we'll see just how heavy it gets in these matchups against Nush. If you guys don't remember who Nush is a Saudi Arabian 1v1er who actually can't play in the Salt Mine. We've had Ahmad on, Iraqi Ahmad, recently, who also can't participate in the Salt Mine because he is from Iraq. Now, Nush can't participate because he's not old enough. He's not 15 years old. Therefore, he cannot get prize money from Psyonix and cannot play. There's at least a couple players who maybe could make main events who are in that situation. Not as many as there once was. You know, I think when Salt Mine 1 came out the first time, there was a collection of players that could even win it. You know, at the time the first Salt Mine was played, Chronic could not play, and he had just, or sorry, the first time that Psyonix sponsored a Salt Mine, because the very first Salt Mine Chronic did play and he got second. But in the second Salt Mine, he was not old enough, and he had to watch from the sidelines, which was wild, considering he got second in the previous one. So as somebody who could absolutely win the tournament, but couldn't play. Now, I don't know if that's exactly the case with Nush. I wouldn't say that Nush is about to be a tournament winner if he could participate in the Salt Mine, but he's certainly somebody who would stand a chance at qualifying for the main event, as Mawkzy rips a hook shot into the top right. You'll see Mawkzy playing on a few different accounts because he really just wants to get games. If you ask him, that's the reason why. I think anytime he has matches that are happening in the top 100 consistently, he actually switches back to his main account in an attempt to try and farm as much MMR as possible. But I think the MMR farms have been tough recently. Mawkzy not sitting atop the leaderboard like he so often does, and I'm sure if you asked him, it would have a lot to do with the fact that his opponents are sweating. So Nush right now headed to the ceiling. He's a mechanical player like many 13-year-old players are. I think he's 13, might be 14. I just know he's under 15 years old. And he gets a nice reset musty to start this game. Or I shouldn't say to start this game, we're a couple minutes in. Intro took a bit. We'll see how Mawkzy fares. Right now, Nush creeping deep into Mawkzy's corner. Mawkzy is just too good to let you get away with that. A little wave dash pop to get it past him, and then he has the speed to catch back up for the long shot. Nush has been trying to match Mawkzy on these wave dash kickoffs, and I think Mawkzy just thought he had clear control, because we see that Nush doesn't really get, you know, any sort of tough play. He gets to follow Mawkzy without much contest. This time it's back the other way, but Nush putting it into his corner. Mawkzy backing up to the midfield. Nush, as we just saw, likes his aerial gameplay. He'll get a reset at ceiling height, and as soon as he sees Mawkzy jump, uses that reset right away to get the movement necessary to take the lead. Wave dash kickoff. Nush actually beat Mawkzy out to the midfield. Not often do you see someone matching him on his kickoff and actually beating him at his own game. Nush trying to undercut Mawkzy here, and actually succeeded. Even though he didn't get the demo, he undercuts him, brings his back wheels up off the ground, and is able to collect the ball and shoot. So it's been quite the surge for Nush. After a bit of a tough start, pass to himself off the side wall. He has a really clean bounce. He's trying to mix up his attack here and not just bring the ball right at Mawkzy, who was timing off of that bounce. The end result is a shot that certainly was not as good as just ripping a hook shot. Even if he had taken the shot right away, it probably would have forced Mawkzy into a worse position than he would eventually got, which is very easy, low 50 save. Mawkzy is threatening an air dribble bump, and he has been for quite a bit, but Nush gets around it, probably because that threaten was not acted upon quick enough. really telegraphed what he was trying to set up. Nush got his opportunity to get around the ball. A minute 30 left, though, and Mawkzy just keeps Nush pinned back. Has himself within one. I think as far as being the player that everyone wants to beat, Zen certainly experiences that. Probably still to this day. I mean, definitely when he was on his streak, everybody wanted a chance. Even players who didn't really make sense to have them play against him. They all wanted to get their match against Zen and show that they could be the one to take him down. And Mawkzy is going to give people plenty of opportunities. Oh my goodness, that wave dash shot just barely out. Because he plays a ton of ranked. It's not hard to queue into Mawkzy. And now that we've had one of our first big tournaments, you know, when pros were asked who the toughest player to play against in ranked ones is, the answer was definitely Mawkzy. Now he's showing why it's so tough to play against him. The way he was able to really confidently take down Salt Mine Stage 1. Demo from Nush and a game lead with 30 seconds. He is going to play the clock. It seems like he's going to try and bait Mawkzy. Actually brought the ball out to him. I'm a little bit surprised. It seemed like a very intentional time-wasting play and then brought him the ball. It's a mix between two great strategies. I mean, you can attack and try and, you know, capitalize on your demo, or you can hold on to the ball. But what you can't do is a little mix of both. Held on to it and then just rolled it right to Mawkzy. So tie game. 20 seconds left to go. Nush this time does try and take an immediate shot. Mawkzy has the first save. That first touch is not a solid one, but wow, it actually almost worked out because Mawkzy refused to get back into play. And that side flip just barely got clipped. Nush, does he want to keep this up? He is going to try to. A full field dribble from the back corner. He just lost it. Oh my goodness, he almost 50'd it in. That ball was going to hit the ground. There was nothing Nush could do about it because he didn't have a reset either, I don't think. And Mawkzy could have just let it bounce in front of his net, but of course you have to have nerves to steal. He almost became the platform to allow Nush to take it away, but these two caught up on the kickoff, and Nush is just going to score in overtime. Mawkzy is out of the match. But if we watch this again, Mawkzy thought he had won the race, and he did, but that back right wheel just gets clipped ever so slightly. Mawkzy, thinking he's getting an advantageous position, thought he's going to have boost in a win race, but no, Nush just barely undercuts him. And that's the first of our two ranked games between the two. We'll check out another coming up next. All right, game number 2, and actually day number 2 of recording this as well. I think that's going to be the case a lot coming in the next couple weeks because I think I mentioned it on the community notes, but my son was born, which means I'll have a little bit less time to record videos, but I'll try and get some out whenever I can, and of course we'll be back to streams hopefully in not too long. But right now we have Mawkzy and Nush, game number 2. Had a close one in the previous game. We'll see what we have in store this time around. We've seen Mawkzy using that landing wave dash to a lot of success, but he actually just handed the ball away and needed to get right back in front of the net for a spectacular save. 34 boost, smooth catch, and launching a backwards flick. Nush actually has the boost to just stick with it. He pre-jumped the flip, or the flick I should say, and just stayed on ball to carry it away, and then actually just raced back to it. I think Mawkzy, expecting Nush to leave the play there at some point, thought he had put the ball out too far away to a point where he couldn't get back to it and control it, but that was not the case. Now a kickoff win for Nush and a 3-0 lead. Mawkzy, he has not had as much success with that wave dash kickoff as he normally does, and you know, as I say that, Nush shows exactly why. Matches him on the wave dash and beats him by a long shot, undercutting him now as he slowly tries to push him away. The whole time Mawkzy had a flip to work with though, and he uses that to rush out of the scrum and get his first goal. Still, both these guys sticking to the wave dash kickoff. There's no reason not to. I think he's actually had the favorable results. Why did he just pass this ball to Mawkzy? He's in a tough position now. Could have let the ball fall in front of the net, and yeah, Mawkzy is eventually going to score. I say fall in front of the net, but what I mean to say is back on the other half of the field, let it cross the net, and continue it instead of tapping it back to Mawkzy. Another double wave dash. This one in favor of Mawkzy for sure, as Nush getting pinned back. No boost to work with. Can Mawkzy rush back to this ball? Not quite fast enough. And he's trying to let the ball come down on the midfield, but Nush doing a good job jumping early, making Mawkzy think, and then even delaying the flip allows Mawkzy to not try and beat the ball, like assume it's a fake basically, and then Nush can still get his touch. Oh, backflip challenge, just stole it away from Mawkzy. Mawkzy did not have that dribble really controlled. I mean, it wasn't on the top of his car, which is normally a place that backflip challenges will eat up. He actually had it bouncing in front of him, but still. Nush now to the ceiling after another kickoff win. Is just going to slam it straight down as Mawkzy looks to challenge high. And he's building himself just a little bit of a cushion. Diagonal kickoff. Mawkzy takes that straight a lot, and he's going to do that again. Standard instead of the wave dash, which Nush sticks with. And Mawkzy, maybe didn't control the flick as much as he would have liked to. I don't think that was in the best position to launch it, but because he has built up that reputation, Nush is still going to pre-jump high. Mawkzy able to go low. It's such a quick recovery from the wave dash kickoff this time around. Yet still not quite enough to get a clean possession. He's going to allow Nush to get his own back corner 100. Now Mawkzy to the back wall. He's going to try and cut it infield directly at Nush. Very surprising decision. Nush is going to punish him for it. You see in the ones game a lot of times nowadays when you have that dribble to the back corner, players are just going full field off their back wall as the best way to either get it over the top of the defender or just score if they have, you know, the capability to do that. Instead, Mawkzy very greedily tries to bring the ball right back down. Nush is showing an example of what, you know, you could have done by taking that backward dribble, and also shows the reason why you maybe don't want to, because if you can't go the full field, then that defender gets to just wait in net and take the free ball, which is what Mawkzy does. And then a little bit of panic on the goal line from Nush. Big dash kickoff. Mawkzy passing up to himself. Nush gets a bit caught up, searching for boost. Not what he needed to do in that moment. Matched wave dash kickoff. Mawkzy has really been trying to slow the game down, and Nush has punished him at many times by playing quick. This time, though, Mawkzy finally gets the read on the early challenge from Nush, and that is the result of probably a very predictable set of challenges in a row from Nush. He is not turning to shadow. Whenever he has the opportunity, he is turning on ball. Mawkzy, big kickoff win. First lead he's maybe had in a while. And it's a 7-6 with a minute 35. Well, either one of these guys mix up their kickoffs. I think a delay kickoff could do wonders. Looks like Nush actually does mix up, goes standard. But if there were a rock, paper, scissors of kickoffs, I do think the wave dash beats the standard. Got to mix up to some kind of delay of some sort. You want to try and get the other player guessing again. Nush has a reset early in the corner. Mawkzy gonna turn and dive. Nice pinch to keep Nush from staying on offense. He pushes it all the way to the blue half. Actually beat him up to the ball with the very little boost that he had left. And now he has himself an 8-6 lead. Nush started off solid. I think he was up 3 goals, maybe even 6-3, something close to that. But since then, it's been a huge run for Mawkzy. Kickoff win, taken straight down the center of the field. The flick isn't necessarily powerful, but it's enough to score. You can tell that Nush has a big ping advantage. We got this replay from Nush, ping disadvantage. He has a lot of lag artifacts in this. 94 boost for Mawkzy. Little backwards wave dash to get back underneath the ball and trying to show he has the top right flick as well. Honestly, very well placed, but Nush had a great save. Now Mawkzy playing the time a little bit, backing off the ball, trying to see if he could bait Nush in to a bad challenge. He's just going to wait out Nush in the air because Nush dribbling across net, not really threatening the net at all. So Mawkzy, with 20 seconds left to go, will drop one into the bottom right. Playing his advantage here very wisely late in the game, but this standard kickoff's going to pay off for Nush. Heading to the ceiling, needs to score on this take. We saw that early pre-jump, and then a 50. is going to be Nush scoring. Mawkzy not able to reorient himself after thinking about that early challenge. Another kickoff situation. This time Mawkzy standard and Nush wave dash gets himself another wall to air dribble right on this right side. And oh my goodness, saw the early challenge, slammed the ball down. Mawkzy actually adjusted to that. Then a follow-up demo. That ball should have been free, but he just barely got it high enough. So it's looking like 2 overtimes in a row with Mawkzy and Nush. This time mirrored wave dash kickoffs. Mawkzy dipping into the orange half, or sorry, the blue half to collect the ball. 180 defense from Nush, who is able to easily get over what seemed like a weak air dribble attempt, or air dribble bump attempts. Wall dashing from Nush with 0 boost to try and stay in the play. Couldn't connect on the demo, so now he'll take possession to the back wall. Mawkzy beat him to his corner, so he is wise enough not to go in there and get himself demoed, lose the game. Mawkzy refusing to take this ball in front of his net. Oh, Nush looked to punish. The backflip almost forced it in. He actually gets back up to this ball. Mawkzy, time and again, does not want to take this ball in front of his net or up off the back wall. He just tries to bring it down right back into Nush. And what a, I mean, we got to watch this from Nush's perspective too, because this is a good challenge. Landing the backwards wave dash into backflip in order to put pressure, and then just beats Mawkzy up to the ball. My goodness, what a good finish from Nush. But a couple close games, and Mawkzy, he is going to get the sweats every time now. He is top dog in EU when it comes to 1v1, and you're going to get everybody's best in every game they play.